Yo, what up traders? We're gonna be doing a weekly review video about EURUSD and DXY. I'm gonna be breaking down the one single trade I took, which caught the entire weekly expansion. Make sure to comment down below what you think the next weekly candle will do, and we'll touch back next week with another weekly review. But for now, let's get into the charts. Yo, what up traders? Welcome to a weekly review video. We're gonna go over EURUSD, GBP/USD and DXY, and I'm gonna explain how I view the market day by day and where the actual opportunity is. And I only took one trade this week, and I will explain why I took this trade early in the week and just let it run the entire week. But first of all, you need to have your higher time frame understanding, right? So what I was looking at on EURUSD was that we are stuck in a single candle range, right? So let's make this a little bit a thicker line. And if I scroll here and put a line here, we're stuck within a single candle range. Now this tells us when price is stuck in a single candle, you are in a consolidation profile, most likely around the 4-hour time frame. And when we zoom in, you'll actually see that is the case as well. Although there are smaller market cycles within the consolidation, of course. But when you're actually bearish on price action and you're stuck within a candle like this, ideally you want to see the high of the candle get run first. And then after confirmation, of course, you want to look for shorts. Now, that was the draw for the start of the week, right? Because we can see the previous candle here. We ran the low, but closed back inside. And we're just hanging around here. No willingness to trade lower. We should expect a bullish candle the coming week, right? That's what I was expecting. And I posted that on X as well, right? I posted what is the most likely play here. Or let me just show this from my Discord, right? This is the schematic, right? This literally the high here of the weekly candle and the low of the weekly candle. And once you're in a consolidation profile, it's very likely to run the high and then drop towards the lows. Now, dropping towards the lows is obviously not guaranteed. You need some sort of confirmation, right? We're not just selling because we think it goes lower. We are gonna sell when we get confirmation, right? So if I go to we can actually look at the daily here as well, because this is the weekly high, right? That single candle, weekly low, single candle. And then if we look and zoom in on Monday, and this is Friday's closure, also an inside bar, right? And then we have this candle here. And you can see Monday runs the lows of these candles and then starts to shift order flow intraday, right? This is key in understanding that once a Friday's low get run and you're expecting a weekly bullish candle, you can expect Monday until the target gets hit, it will be a bullish daily candle every time. Right, so if we go to the 4H, we can zoom in a little bit more on that actual range, right? So if I just touch back on this this post here, right? This is the 4-hour. You can see the high and low marked out, and that's the schematic. And that's the same thing here, right? The high and the low are marked up. And then we zoom in, and we can actually see this is Friday's low. And you see after Friday's low get run, we are breaking structure here, right? We're leaving a fair value gap behind, which means there's sponsorship for higher, and expecting a bullish weekly candle. We already had the manipulation. We can even zoom in a little bit more, because here, this is important. This is where the market cycles come into play, right? So focus on this every time you start off with a new weekly candle. And I'm going to show you here. We had an expansion. Then we had a potential reversal, right? Because it could have also went down, and then we started to go sideways, right? So what can happen here, if we're in bearish order flow, typically it runs the high first and then starts to drop, right? But in this occasion here, we have an expansion cycle, we have a reversal, consolidation, but then we have a manipulation move, which is another expansion, taking out the low, and then we have another reversal, right? So we have a confirmed reversal on Monday's trading, because we took out Friday's low, and then we can actually see a retracement back into that 4-hour fair value gap, and then a continuation higher. I took a buy, let me see, it was, see if I can post a screenshot as well. It was basically this. I think it was somewhere up here. Stop loss down here, actually on the low, I think, and then I just held all the way I think I held it through this, but it started to consolidate, so I closed it somewhere around here. But basically, this was the one setup I took, which is actually more than 4R. It's 4.5R, almost 5R. And it's just one single trade. So this just goes to show you don't need 5 to 10 trades a week to make 4R or 5R, right? You just need one trade and that's it. One good setup a week, that's what I live for, right? But let's break down day by day, right? If we go to the 1 hour here, we know that 4 hour fair value gap got formed. There's two things you can do, right? You can wait for a 1 hour low to get formed, which it actually did, right? And this is actually the setup I should have taken. Because now we have an order pairing low formed, right? So we can buy below the low into the key level, and then we should expect a run higher. When you're using a 4 hour fair value gap and 1 hour lows, you need a 1 hour base stop loss. So what you should do is once you look for a setup like this, you put your stop loss on the range low. This is the low where it's confirmed. We're not gonna go below, right? And then you aim for the high. You're not gonna go break even until you actually start forming new bullish fair value gaps above the range you took it from, right? So this is the range high, and now this is the range low. And once we push up, we're not gonna go break even once there's a fair value gap here. I'm gonna go break even once we're here, right? So over here, you can go break even. And this is actually the crazy part here, right? Because this is the daily candle opening at 5 p.m. and then at 6 p.m. we did one big pump up, and I was asleep at this time. So I woke up somewhere around here. I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And then it started to retrace, and then Thursday came and was a little bit lackluster. I think I closed it somewhere around here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I closed it around here. Okay, so yeah, I found the screenshot. So here we go, right? So if I zoom out a little bit, there we go. You can see those are the candles here, right? So I took it over here once we went back into this 1 hour fair value gap, and then I closed it up here because I knew the market was just not going to do anything at the end of the week. We already ran the higher time frame target, so I closed it here, which is this candle here. I could have grabbed a little bit more. It's fine. We don't care about that little move because we already made 5R, right? Now, if we go to DXY, we can actually see how the week starts off, right? And this is what I want you guys to focus on as well. If you see Friday's high get run, and there's displacement, you can at least anticipate price going back to discount of the range, right? If not, and it reverses, that it doesn't want to go lower, you are probably already break even, and you took your shot and you have a high probability setup for lower. And it's probably going to be a break even. But if not, and it starts dropping, you are in the best trade you can get because you're riding the weekly expansion. So really think about that. And if you also look at this, right, and this is what you guys need to focus on as well, which is order pairing. You have the high over here. This is the low attached to the high, right? But we can actually take the structural low because that was a draw. But if you want to be technically correct, this is the draw, like this, right? You can see how the range has formed. Pair up the buy stops down below with the sell stops. Now the market ran targets and we gapped down. That's because DXY closes at this time, right? And then opens up an hour later. This is a massive gap. We can see price runs back into the gap, and then now it's just consolidating. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think what DXY will do next week? Are we just gonna go sideways? Are we gonna run the low and then go higher? Or are we gonna run higher and then go lower? What do you guys think? Make sure to comment in the comment section below. Let me know. And then we'll do another weekly review next week and see how that played out and what my anticipations were. Quickly touching on GBP USD as well, right? We didn't take out this high, so personally, I would wait for Monday to play out first and then make your plan, right? Because we cannot disregard that there are so many equal highs up here, right? So there might be another run higher before we go lower, or maybe we won't even go lower after we run this high. Please be patient and let the market tell you what it wants to do. And I will catch you in next week's weekly review. I'll try to do every week another weekly review so you guys know where the opportunities were and try to improve on your own trading. But for now, have a great Sunday, and I will check you guys next week.